Hello there, welcome back to my channel. It is day 2, although I'm holding up 4 fingers. Day 2 of classroom setup. If you missed day 1, go back and watch the first vlog because that'll catch you up. But today, the goal is to do a lot of labeling, get my desk area cleaned up because it's a hot mess right now, and make some final decisions in terms of organization. And I have some updates to share with you all. In my last vlog, I mentioned that I had 2 really fun deliveries that were coming. They are here and I can't wait to show you. First things first, I'm gonna have to take you on another little mini room tour because yesterday, after I finished vlogging, it's the next day, by the way. I kind of feel like I never left, and I probably should have just slept here. It would have been more time efficient, but I went home and I had a delivery, so I brought that back to school, and then I spent another couple of hours. I won't say how many because that's between me and my classroom, but I definitely got some other things done, so let me catch you up on that. Let's start here because this is one of my exciting new purchases. It is a Chromebook cart. I mentioned in my last vlog that I used all Amazon gift cards to purchase this. I use an app called Fetch. It's free. You scan receipts, you earn points, and then I save my points all year. During back to school season, I cash them in and I spend them on my classroom. Now, I am not sponsored by Fetch, but I do have a code where if you sign up, you get extra points and I get extra points. So I'll leave that for you if you wanna join. I've been using it for a couple of years now, and every year I make some kind of a bigger purchase for my classroom using those points. And this year I opted for a Chromebook cart. Now it does lock. I don't really plan on leaving it locked, but here's what the inside looks like. There are 30 slots, and what I really like is that they're stacked in 3 tiers. You may remember previously I had these long skinny rectangles, and that was my Chromebook charging station, but it would take up pretty much an entire table because I had to have them side by side by side. So this is a huge space saver since I have the 3 different levels. Now I don't have 30 students, but it does give me some wiggle room, which is nice. There are these slots, so the Chromebooks all go in between these slots, and the slots are actually designed to kind of hold their cords. Let me turn it around and show you the back. First of all, the back has an easy release, so if you need to get to any of the chargers, it's pretty simple. Each tier has a power strip, and then it has these holders for their actual chargers. And then you can wrap the cord around it. So I feel like this should work pretty well. I'm excited for it. And I feel like it's just overall gonna be a much more efficient system. One of the little slots for the Chromebook did come damaged. However, I was still able to put it in there, so it's not really a big deal. And I kind of took a gamble on this cart because it was one of those items that had no reviews, and that's always super risky on Amazon. But I'm very happy with the purchase. And again, knowing that I didn't have to spend my own money on it, it was expensive. So putting all of my gift cards toward this, or almost all of them, was a big expense. However, it's one of those things that now I will have for all the years to come, and I'm super happy with it. By the way, every year I put together an Amazon list where things that I've purchased for my classroom that year go on the list. It's just an easier way to link things. So if anything is from Amazon, I will have it linked for you in the description box. Otherwise, I will have a full classroom tour video coming up, and in that video, I always go through and link every single item. So things that are from Lakeshore or Walmart or Target, I go through and link everything, so just stay tuned for that. Moving right along, this pile is things that are gonna be given to one of my coworkers, but you'll notice I lowered this skinny rectangle table. So this is kind of a dual purpose. First of all, it is a spot where my students can charge their device during the day if they need to. So let's say they brought their Chromebook home, forgot to charge it, and during class they're like, oh, Mrs. Emerson, my Chromebook's dying. They can sit over here and charge it. This is meant to be kind of like a floor table, which if you come to the other side of the room, I have these rainbow cushions that I've used the past 2 years that my students love to grab and sit on. But in addition to being a floor table for my students, I can also stand on it when I'm writing on this whiteboard. The plan for this whiteboard is for it to be a space to house things for curriculum. So my science word wall, my math word wall, any ELA materials, they're all gonna go on this whiteboard. And y'all, I'm short, okay? I'm only 5'3", and so I struggle sometimes to reach the top of the whiteboard. So now, if I'm writing on the whiteboard, I can actually come over, stand on the table, and it gives me some more height. Which yesterday, when I started going through cabinets and closets, I pulled out some of the materials that will be used to set up that whiteboard. That will be one of the things I try to at least get started on today. This area is not much better than where we left off yesterday. I mean, I think I cleared it off a little bit, but this has just kind of become a catch-all for things that I need to go through and sit and organize. So work in progress. This will get tackled today. Now, if we come over here, I have some more things on the shelves. It's still not finalized, like I'm playing around with what I want where, but we've made some progress. I have a thing of drawers here, mostly for like math manipulatives that I would use during small group. And on that side of the bookshelf, I ended up clearing out a shelf. So I'm gonna see if maybe I can condense these books and like get another shelf in there. This shelf is as high as it will go. So even though there's space at the top, I can't move it up. But my thought was if I put my tallest books on this shelf, I may be able to scoot everything else up and get one more shelf in there. I did take a bin of books home yesterday because you'll remember in my last vlog, I found all those books in the closet. So in addition to the books that are on this shelf, I do have 2 bins of books up top, but I'm capping myself there. So if I get another shelf, that gives me some wiggle room. But if I can't get another shelf, it's fine. I've at least made it work. All of the cubbies have been cleaned out. I've put the book bins in there, and you'll notice I took off the labels because I'm gonna relabel them. This bin has like risers and bouncy bands for like some flexible seating options. These bins are all empty. I know at least one of them will be used to house my student birthday cups that I prep at the beginning of the year. The other 2 will probably house like math books or something along those lines. These are just extra drawers for now. I'm not entirely sure if they're gonna stay or if I'm gonna take them home and use them. And then these are my 4 wobble stools that used to be at the long rectangular table, but because it's now on the floor, they could either live up here or maybe over there on the wall. My student supply center is mostly set up, although I might move these rainbow drawers up a level. I don't know, but regardless, I do still have some space down at the bottom, like not every single bin is filled. And then my little prize center has been coming together. I don't know if those black drawers are gonna stay there, but I had extra, so for now I put them there. And then right now those black bins are all empty. Here was my other purchase that I was excited about. So this year I'm gonna use kind of like a raffle ticket system. In fact, on my back table, I have raffle tickets. This is actually inspired by my Texas Reading Academies that I've been going to. The presenter will give out raffle tickets. If you're participating or you show up on time, you get a ticket, and then she'll randomly draw out for prizes. And I was like, you know what? That's so simple, but I kind of love it. So I got myself some raffle tickets, and the idea is I will pass those out to students for various things, and then they will add it into the little spinny wheel. And then on Fridays, we'll pass along the Golden Emerson, and then the Golden Emerson will get to like spin the wheel, and we'll pick out some tickets. My thought is I might pick out like 2 tickets where those students get to go into my prize box and choose something.
We've got prizes.
And then each week I'll have some kind of like a bigger prize, and I want to make it kind of fun and interactive where like they earn the prize, but then they don't know what it is yet, and then they can trade it for another prize if they want, kind of like let's make a deal. I've seen other teachers do that, and it just sounds fun. So this is kind of like prize central / snack / candy. And then this cart is also gonna be used for like prize things. I still need to clean out this drawer. A lot of this is gonna go into my teacher toolbox, but I have my confetti poppers for Golden Emerson, my rock candy for Golden Emerson, and then this is where that little spinny wheel, so like when you spin this, oh, so fun. That's where that's going to stay, and it's on wheels, so if I want, I can move the cart like up to the front of the classroom. This area looks pretty much the same, like back here. These are gonna be for the reading anthologies. And then this closet is a big work in progress. Here's where we left off, but I don't think I'm necessarily leaving it like this. This will probably be one of the last tasks for the day because I just can't decide exactly what I wanna do. But on a positive note, my back counter is looking pretty clear. Back here, I just have like student clipboards, paper, and then a lot of open space, which is good. This could, in theory, be another spot for students to charge Chromebooks if needed. And then this, I still need to take it out of the plastic, but it's like a silicone sink guard type thing, because when my students are washing their hands, water splashes everywhere, and then my counter is not level, so the water starts to like run this way. So that was a random purchase over the summer. I'm hoping that it helps, but it might be a lost cause. So I think we're gonna start at the back table. I need to clear stuff off, and I need to start setting up that whiteboard. My vision is that space will be for my calendar, my schedule, our class star jar, keeping track of house points, all of those things, because I used to have some of it on this whiteboard, and then that was my math word wall. I don't really use a whiteboard behind me when I'm doing small group. I just use like a handheld whiteboard, so I don't need the space to write on. And if that area is gonna have my desk, it's gonna be too hard to get to write for like the word wall. I like the idea of having this entire wall be like super open, and that entire thing can be my word wall for like all of the subjects. So I need to get that put up and kind of see how much space that I have. And this whole area, I'm just like, where do I even start? I think calendar is gonna go here. So let's do that first. I was gonna say, I know I pulled out my calendar pieces yesterday. So we're just gonna start there. And that'll help me space out the rest of the board, and it'll get stuff off the back table, which I feel like is win-win. Okay, I need tape because the months are magnetic, the days are magnetic, the events are magnetic, but I tape down the days of the week and the background tape. There we go. Okay, I always use just clear, like transparent tape. It's nothing fancy, but I like that. It holds all year. You can't see it. I mean, you can see it if you look for it, but you know what I mean. It's not as visible as like the other tape. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. All right, so I do have it go all the way to Saturday. So let's get a chair. Michelle, you are not that tall. All right. Chair acquired. Ugh. I'm gonna try to keep it as straight as we can. Oh, that piece of tape has fuzz all over it. What on earth? Okay, let's try that again. And does anyone else, as they're doing stuff like this, any pieces of tape that were not successful, I just stick them to my leg, and then I get home and I'm like, why do I have tape all over my leg? I really hope this is straight. It's hard to tell when you're standing on a chair. I could be completely missing it. Okay, straighten that out. And then for the background pieces, I think when I put them away, I tried to stack them. So I'm just gonna start with Sunday, go across, and then go down. And I basically use one piece of tape, and I'm simultaneously taping the bottom of the day of the week and the top of the backing piece. Oh, that first one's crooked, but oh, let it go, Michelle, let it go. All right, now we're gonna have a little label party. These are all labels that I have printed out, laminated, cut out, ready to attach. These are new labels for my teacher toolbox. And I know you're like, Michelle, you don't need to relabel it. Listen, okay, first of all, it brings me joy. But second of all, more importantly, y'all, I did not utilize this like at all last year. I had push pins in there, and that was about it. So because I'm gonna have this on my desk area, I'm really gonna lean into using this, especially because I used to have a bin up here that would have like sticky notes and extra pens. No, it's all just gonna live here, and I can grab it from the standing desk if I need to. So this is gonna be my one-stop shop for all of my like little supplies that I need. So I had to create new labels because I needed to make sure that it was actually gonna be things that I need to have like readily available, if that makes sense. Probably not, but it's fine. These are header labels. So first I'm gonna have a spot for house points. I don't know, somewhere like here where my students can get to it, and I'm gonna tape up their house crests, and they're just gonna make tally marks. I used to have a page in like a sheet protector, but it was a little too small, and I think this will be better because it'll be bigger. Class star jar, which I've pulled out here because I'm going self-contained. I'm only gonna have one this year. And then daily schedule, which I've printed out the schedule cards. Those are gonna go on magnets. That way I can easily move them around if needed. These are new book bin labels. These are new labels for the math and science drawers where I house materials. I just needed them all to match. And then these are labels for some of the paper drawers and like areas over there. And then these are some smaller labels, same idea, but we're just gonna start labeling all the things, and I think we'll put these up first and then we'll work on the teacher toolbox. All right, schedule is up, star jar, house points are up. So now we are relabeling these drawers, and I just wanted to show you, first of all, this is the new look, so super, super basic. These labels are in my TPT store, by the way. I just redesigned them slightly because I have problems. But in terms of how I attach them, first of all, the labels are printed on cardstock, they are laminated. What I do is I put it inside of the drawer. I use one piece of clear tape and attach it on the top. You can't even really see. See, that's how, there you go, you can see it just barely. So the piece of tape wraps around from the label across the top. Then I hold it in so it's touching the front of the drawer, and I put one more piece of tape down here at the bottom. So half the piece of tape is on the label, half the piece is on the drawer, and that works perfectly. You can use double-sided sticky tape, like I would put a piece on each side. I just don't have any, so we're using clear tape instead. We're around the 4 to 5 hour mark, and this is always the point where I need to take a break. I need to go get some food in my belly and just have some time away. But I've made good progress. I feel like it's coming together. It's like playing Tetris with a lot of the organization, and I'm just trying to think through so many details with how I want things organized and why and what's the most efficient way. So it's not done, obviously it's not done, but let me go ahead and show you where we are at. Let's start with this whiteboard. So on the left side, it's gonna be purely science. I've put up my magnetic little shelves that I have, and then I have my magnetic kind of separator pieces that I use. On this side, it's going to be for math. Now, in the middle, this is kind of my command center. So these are magnetic little, I guess, bookshelves from Lakeshore Learning that I've had for years. But this is where I have the little magnetic cards that I put up for my word walls. I have tape, I have little magnetic clips, I have my microfiber cloth, I have my big Expo eraser, all my colored markers. But then above it, I have put the little magnetic curtain rod that I use to hold anchor charts. My thought is I'm gonna have a living word wall for science, a living word wall for math. When I say living, I just mean like constant, in progress, getting updated, etc. This middle space is where I can put an anchor chart that I am writing on for ELA. This way I can, once again, get on the table to be able to write on it. My students can even get on the table to write on it. And then I can always move it and display it elsewhere in the room, but it gives me kind of that clean slate where I know that I can put an anchor chart to be able to write on it. Shifting over to the right, I did put a container down here to kind of house a lot of my engagement type stuff that I just want to be able to have access to during class. I already showed you kind of the whiteboard setup for now. I obviously have not put up the full schedule, and it's also still kind of in shifts. This area still looks the same. I did put a bin down here just to house some different engagement type materials that I like to have access to when I'm teaching. And then here is my whiteboard area. I'm leaving white space because I don't want it to be too crowded, and I know there will probably be other things that I need to display. But here is that back table area. I moved the toolbox to the other side. That way I could have this little bin that has my stars for the star jar, and then these are other, like I switch them out for snowflakes and things like that. And then I'm gonna have to make labels for those drawers, and honestly, I'm still trying to decide exactly what I wanna put in there. I've got my pen caddy, I've got stapler, tape dispenser, my charging area for my computer. I got this little magnetic holder from Amazon for remotes, which I love. Like in the back of my room, I have that lamp and I can turn it on and off from up here. It used to be right by my desk, but now I'll keep the remote up here. And then also it came with two, so I have the other one over here for some other remotes. And then we've got my toolbox. I moved it to this side because over here, when I was putting things on top of it, it was kind of covering up the calendar. So I decided to have those things down on the table and then just have the toolbox by itself over here. These drawers and the little caddy and my bin on the floor, these are all materials for meeting with students in small group. And then we've got my little teacher command center for a lot of the papers and things. I decided to switch over my drawers from days of the week to subject areas because I felt like I would have to move things from one day to the other, and it just wasn't the most efficient, and it makes more sense to do it by subject. Then we've got papers to file, papers to grade, and Tuesday folders. Once I have graded papers, I put them into this drawer until it's time to send them home in Tuesday folders. I need to make labels for these, but this one has my calendar pieces, and the reason it's in one of these drawers, even though the pieces themselves are small, the monthly headers need more space because they're longer, so I need a longer drawer. Then we've got schedule cards, and then this one is stickers. Y'all, I'm not allowed to buy any stickers this year, okay? I have way too many. We've got my emergency sub plans and my sub binder. And then over here, that is my electric kettle. So sometimes I'll make myself like coffee or tea. I've got my like drink packets, sweetener packets, and then I need to make a label for these. They're like stirring sticks. These drawers have a lot of like little papers and things that I need for my students. So for example, we've got their birthday stickers, we've got the postcards that we write for every student. I'll have the slips that I give for when my students do extra credit. That will all go in here. And then this has hole puncher, my bigger scissors, and then some little notepads, think sheets, things like that. This is where I will have like my data clipboards and then like data binders, things that I need easy access to. These are papers that I give to my students when they're redoing an assignment. So it's like a new place to show their work. And then I staple that to their original page. And then here we've got Magic Square, which is just an easy little incentive that I do to make it a little bit more fun. And these shelves will kind of be spots where I can put papers when needed. Then this bin has my like mugs and coffee materials. This one is open for right now. I need to think through what I want to go there. And then we've got my teacher snacks and then some extra snacks. And then I moved my little candies for the sub into there as well. Nothing has changed here except I did get the classwork bin labeled. Haven't had time to look at the library and figure out if I can fit another shelf. But I did get these two bins labeled thus far. This one actually has some of the materials for the birthday cups when I'm ready to go ahead and fill them, which again, shout out to whoever fulfilled these ring pops from my wish list. Amazon no longer tells me who sends items, so if that was you, thank you very much. These bins are still empty. We've got some more empty drawers that I can always take home and repurpose somehow, and then the rest of this all looks the same. Haven't changed anything here. I do need to go through and label bins, but oh, I forgot to show you. My back table is just covered with labels as I'm trying to figure out where things are going, but regardless. This area has come together though. The top is gonna be all like prize box for students. I'm gonna go to Target and get another one of these big bins. But right now, this one has all fidgets. This one has like the little squishies. These are pencil toppers, erasers, stickers, and pencils. So the other big bin that I get will go here. I'll probably shift them all down, but those drawers are not gonna stay there. This one would be candy that basically if my students get prize box, they can do anything from the top. This is all stuff that they have to have my permission to get. So Jolly Ranchers, those are like a coveted special treat in my class. The mints I give them before testing, and then I have some other little treats and things. This is for my Brain Booster Award, so I got the certificates, and then they get Smarties, they get to pick out a little brain squishy, and then a brain sticker. So I still have 2 empty drawers there that I can utilize for something. We've got fidgets. This is where I'm gonna house like prizes for the raffle. And then these are some extra like golden Emerson materials. So I've got extra confetti poppers and extra beaded necklaces. And then the main ones that I will pull from are here. These are the bags that I mentioned. So I'm gonna put like a prize in here, and it's like, all right, do you want the gold bag or do you want to swap for the silver one? And like, they're not gonna know what's in it. Underneath in this drawer, this is where I'll have little prizes. So I've got some passes like free seat choice, homework pass. These are like little random coupons that come from local businesses. It'll be like a free kids coffee or something like that. So I'll hold on to those. And then these are for my prize drop, which is back here. And sometimes what I might do is if I pull a raffle ticket, they then get to do a prize drop. Like, it all kind of works together. And then this has not been touched. But as I mentioned, I'm in need of some food and some caffeine.
From now on, when I'm hungry, I am going to eat whatever I am hungry for.
So I'm gonna head out of here. I'm gonna end today's vlog. I'm gonna come back and work through some things, but again, I'm at the point now where I'm just sitting and either labeling stuff or trying to decide what I want to go where, trying things out to see if it'll work, because sometimes I have an idea and then when I actually put the things in that bin, it just doesn't work. So we've made a lot of progress. I'm happy with what I've done. Obviously, this is taking me a while because I'm trying to really just hone in on the efficiency of my classroom. I've always been very organized, but trying to just make improvements year after year. It is funny seeing some of my team teachers, they'll come in for like 3 hours and they're like, all right, my room's set up. And I'm like, but that's not me, and that's okay. Like, I don't need to compare myself, and these are the types of things that do bring me joy. So it's okay that it's taking me longer, and I think once it's all said and done, I will be happy that I took the time and worked through all of this. But speaking of things that make me happy, if you enjoyed this video, first of all, thank you very much. But second of all, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Once it is all done and complete, I am gonna do a full classroom tour where I walk you through and show you everything, but be on the lookout for that. Until then, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I'll catch you in the next one.